You think women leave because they stop loving you. They don't. They leave the moment they stop respecting you. And that moment doesn't explode with drama. It fades quietly, in the small things you stopped noticing. The way you talk. The way you show up. The energy you carry when you've stopped trying. Most men never see it happen. They just wake up one morning feeling her drift away and call it bad timing. But it's not timing. It's repetition. It's the same careless habits, the same tone of voice, the same loss of presence that tells her, you've lost command of yourself. See, attraction doesn't die in a single argument. It dies in the slow erosion of respect. And the hardest part, you don't even notice when it starts. So before we go further, I want you to pause. Ask yourself one question. If you were her, would you still respect you? That's the mirror test most men never take, because it hurts. It forces you to see the parts of yourself you've been avoiding. You chase affection, but you ignore alignment. You crave connection, but you neglect discipline. And slowly, you start lowering the very standards you want others to admire. This isn't judgment. It's awareness. And awareness is the first step toward control. If you're ready to rebuild from the inside out, this is where it starts. Right here, not with her, with you. 1. Poor hygiene. She smells your neglect before she feels your touch. Attraction doesn't begin with words. It begins with presence. And presence always speaks before you do. When you walk into a room, before you even say a thing, she already knows who you are by how you carry yourself. By your scent, by your posture, by the way your clothes fall on your body. If you smell careless, if your shirt looks tired, if your nails are chipped, or your hair looks like you stopped trying, she doesn't just see a man who's unkempt. She feels a man who's lost command of himself. Hygiene isn't vanity. It's self-discipline made visible. It's how a man communicates. I'm in control of me. Every small detail, clean nails, neat beard, fresh breath, is a silent declaration of order. And women feel that order as stability. You might think it's just appearance, but it's not. It's energy. A clean body carries a different frequency. It tells her she can trust your space, because you've mastered the smallest space you own, your own skin. Neglect, on the other hand, has a smell. It whispers, I've stopped paying attention. And women are wired to detect that instantly. Not because they're shallow, but because their instincts search for safety. If you can't manage your own body, how will you manage a life together? Cleanliness isn't about fancy cologne or designer clothes. It's awareness. It's care. It's proof that you still give a damn about yourself. So start small. Trim your nails. Wash your face with intention. Pick clothes that fit your energy, not your ego. When you take care of the man in the mirror, the world begins to respond differently. Respect begins there, in the mirror, before the world ever looks back. 2. Overconfidence. Confidence is magnetic. Arrogance is radioactive. Confidence pulls people in. Arrogance pushes them away. And the line between the two is thinner than you think. Most men confuse volume with strength. They think speaking louder, moving faster, bragging harder makes them seem powerful. But women don't fall for noise. They fall for gravity. That quiet sense of control that doesn't need attention to exist. Arrogance is performance. Confidence is presence. One screams, look at me. The other whispers, I'm here and I'm enough. When a man brags, interrupts, or over-explains, he isn't showing power. He's showing panic. He's trying to convince the world he's in control because deep down, he's afraid he's not. A truly confident man doesn't need proof. He lives it. He moves slower. He listens more. He's grounded. Women sense that immediately. When she meets a man who can be silent without being awkward, calm without being cold, steady without being stiff, her instincts relax. Because confidence feels like safety. Arrogance feels like threat. Real confidence doesn't chase approval. It radiates certainty. It's the kind of energy that says, I know who I am, even if you don't. So check yourself. Are you performing strength, or are you standing in it? You'll know by how quiet you can be, while still feeling powerful. Because true confidence doesn't shout. It simply moves, and everyone around you feels it. 3. Bad manners. Respect isn't a gesture. It's an energy. Respect doesn't come from words. It's not please or thank you. It's energy. You can tell everything about a man by how he treats people who can't give him anything. The waiter, the cashier, the janitor sweeping the floor. Those moments reveal who you are when no one's watching. See, manners aren't performance. They're presence. The way you pause before interrupting. The way you hold eye contact without trying to dominate it. The way you make space for others. That's composure. A woman notices these things before she ever admits it. When you're rude, impatient, or dismissive, she doesn't just see poor behavior. She feels chaos. Because a man who can't regulate his tone with a stranger probably can't hold himself together under pressure. You might think manners are small things, but they're really emotional indicators. Politeness that comes from fear looks weak, but politeness that comes from calm, that's power. A real man doesn't use aggression to prove he's strong. He uses control to show he's centered. He can hold space without needing to fill it with ego. So slow down. Let people finish their sentences. Say, thank you, because you mean it, not because you want to look good. That kind of quiet respect. It builds trust faster than any pickup line or perfect smile ever could. Because women don't just listen to what you say. They feel how you treat the world. And when your world feels respected, so will she. 4. Talking too much about yourself. If she can't breathe, she stops caring. You've met that guy before. Maybe you've been him. The one who turns every story into his story. Every moment into his moment. And the woman across from him. She's smiling politely, but she's already gone. When you dominate the conversation, you might think you're impressing her. But what she actually feels is suffocation. Because attraction isn't built through information. It's built through space. A woman doesn't fall for the man who talks the most. She falls for the man who listens the deepest. When you leave silence, she fills it with curiosity. When you talk nonstop, you leave her no room to feel. You see, constant self-talk is just a quiet cry for validation. See me. Approve of me. Tell me I matter. But the more you chase her approval with words, the more she feels your insecurity. Real presence isn't loud. It's attentive. It's being fully there without trying to perform. A man who can stay quiet without losing confidence. That's rare. That's magnetic. Try this the next time you talk to her. Ask one question that makes her think. Listen not to respond, but to understand. Pause before you speak. Let her words land. Let her feel heard. When a woman feels seen, she opens up. When she feels ignored, she closes off. It's that simple. You don't win her interest by filling the air. You win it by holding the silence. Because the man who listens more than he talks always says the most. 5. Not listening. When she feels unheard, she disconnects. Most men think listening means staying quiet until it's their turn to talk. But that's not listening. That's waiting. Real listening is emotional recognition. Feeling what she's really saying beneath the surface. When she tells you she's tired, sometimes she means she's lonely. When she's angry, she might just be asking, can you still hold space for me? And when you respond by fixing, explaining, or minimizing, she doesn't feel understood. She feels unseen. Men listen to solve. Women speak to connect. That's the invisible gap that breaks most relationships without either side realizing it. Every time you rush to defend yourself or cut her off mid-sentence, she learns one thing: you're not safe to open up to. So she starts shrinking. Her stories get shorter. Her tone turns colder. Her trust fades quietly. Listening isn't weakness, it's leadership. It's the ability to hold steady while someone else unravels. It's choosing to hear the emotion before the logic. You don't have to agree with her to understand her. You just have to care enough to stay present while she feels. When a woman says, "You don't listen," she's not saying you're deaf. She's saying she feels invisible. So next time, stop fixing. Stop debating. Just stay there. Look at her. Let her talk until she exhales. Because when she feels heard, her heart softens. And when she feels safe, she reconnects. A man who listens with calm earns more than words. He earns trust. And trust is what keeps her choosing you even after love gets tested. 6. Neediness and insecurity. When you chase reassurance, she feels your fear. Neediness doesn't look desperate at first. It hides behind sweet messages. Long texts, constant check-ins. But underneath, it's not love, it's fear. Fear of being replaced. Fear of not being enough. Fear of losing control. And the more you need her to validate you, the less she can relax around you. Because now, she's not your partner, she's your oxygen. You start asking for reassurance like it's proof of love. But the truth is, the more you ask, the more she suffocates. Attraction dies when polarity dies. And polarity dies when a man stops holding his center. When she pulls away, you panic. When she's quiet, you spiral. When she tests you, you collapse. That's not devotion. That's emotional dependence. A woman doesn't want to feel responsible for your peace. She wants to feel inspired by it. So stop chasing her energy. Return to your own. When she withdraws, breathe. When she goes silent, stay grounded. Show her you can carry both your emotions and hers without losing control. Strength isn't coldness. It's calm under pressure. It's presence without panic. She doesn't need you to be unbreakable. She just needs to feel that you won't crumble every time she tests your balance. The man who can love without begging to be loved back. That's the man she respects. You don't win her by chasing her. You win her by mastering yourself. Because when your world stays steady, she finally feels safe enough to come closer. 7. Lack of ambition. Purpose is a man's gravity. When a man stops chasing something bigger than himself, the light in his eyes starts to dim. He doesn't lose his woman right away. He loses her respect first. Because a woman doesn't need you to be rich or powerful. She just needs to feel that you're going somewhere. Purpose isn't about success. It's about direction. It's the fire that keeps your energy alive. The reason your voice carries weight when you speak. A man with no direction feels hollow, like a map with no destination. And women sense that faster than you think. When you stop fighting for something, even a small goal, even a dream that's still half-built, she feels it. Your words sound softer. Your energy drops. You stop inspiring her and start depending on her. She stops seeing a leader and starts seeing a passenger. Ambition doesn't mean being obsessed with work. It means refusing to settle. It's waking up with intention, building yourself day by day, even when no one's watching. That's what gives your presence weight. That's what makes her feel safe following your lead. A man in motion, even when failing, is still magnetic. Failure with momentum is more attractive than comfort without courage. So find your fight again. Read something that challenges you. Build something that outlives you. Move. Because when your life has direction, your energy shifts. You stop chasing women. They start aligning with you. 8. Negativity. Your energy dictates attraction. Energy doesn't lie. You can say all the right things, wear all the right clothes, But if your energy is heavy, she feels it instantly. Negativity kills attraction quietly, one sigh, one complaint, one defeated look at a time. When you carry constant stress, frustration, or bitterness, you train her body to associate you with tension. She starts to feel anxious in your presence. Not because she stopped loving you, but because her nervous system is trying to protect her peace. A man's role isn't to be happy all the time. It's to stay grounded even when things go wrong. That's real leadership. Masculine stability isn't pretending everything's fine. It's mastering your response when it's not. When you handle chaos with calm, she relaxes. When you crumble under pressure, she withdraws. That's biology, not emotion. She looks to you for safety, not solutions. And safety begins with energy. Negativity repels because it forces her to carry what you won't. But optimism, real optimism, isn't fake smiles or motivational quotes. It's strength. It's the quiet belief that no matter what happens, you'll figure it out. So check your tone. Listen to your words. Notice how your energy fills a room. Are you breathing life into it or draining it out? Because the man who can stay calm in the storm doesn't just survive it. He becomes the anchor everyone else holds on to. And that's the kind of energy she never forgets. 9. Overly aggressive. Control is power. Force is fear. A lot of men confuse dominance with strength. They think raising their voice or winning every argument earns respect. It doesn't. It only creates distance. When your energy turns sharp, when your tone hardens or your eyes shift from calm to challenge, she doesn't feel your power. She feels your instability. Aggression doesn't read as confidence. It reads as fear wearing armor. You see, real strength isn't loud. It's stillness under fire. It's the ability to hold your ground without having to prove it. A man who stays composed when he's provoked, that's real power. Because restraint is harder than rage. When you push too hard, she stops feeling safe. Her body tenses. Her walls go up. You might win the argument, but you lose the connection. Assertiveness isn't about control. It's about clarity. It's saying what you mean with calm authority. It's standing firm without turning every disagreement into a battle. A woman respects the man who can stay calm while she's emotional. Not because he's cold, but because he's steady. So the next time you feel yourself about to explode, breathe. Step back. Speak from your center, not from your ego. Because when you master your fire, you stop burning bridges and start building trust. The man who controls his temper isn't suppressing emotion, he's commanding it. That's the kind of power women trust. That's the kind of strength that doesn't scare her, it secures her. 10. Inauthenticity. You can't fake alignment. You can fake charm. You can fake confidence. You can even fake peace for a while. But you can't fake alignment. A woman's intuition is sharp. It feels cracks in your energy before you even notice them. When your words say one thing but your eyes say another, she knows. When your confidence sounds rehearsed, she knows. You can't hide inconsistency. It leaks through body language, tone, timing. Authenticity isn't about being perfect or overly honest. It's about coherence. When your emotions, your words, and your actions move in the same direction, you project stability. And stability is irresistible. When you perform confidence, you need validation to survive. But when you embody it, you become untouchable. She doesn't need you to have everything figured out. She just needs to feel that what you say is real. Stop pretending to be what you think she wants. That performance might get you attention, but it'll never earn respect. Because connection built on performance always collapses. It depends on the audience, not on truth. So speak less like a salesman and more like a man who's at peace with his flaws. Don't rush to impress. Let your consistency speak louder than your charm. Because when a man stops performing and starts aligning, the world starts trusting him again. And she will too. You don't lose a woman the day she walks out. You lose her slowly. In the moments you stop showing up as the man you promised to be. Not because she stopped loving you, but because she stopped believing in you. Every small habit of neglect, every careless word, every time you let discipline slip just a little, that's when respect starts to die. And once respect fades, love follows quietly behind it. The truth is, these 10 behaviors aren't her turnoffs. They're your wake-up calls. They're the signs that you've drifted too far from your center. The moment you start performing, chasing, or blaming, you trade your power for comfort. And comfort is where masculinity goes to sleep. You don't fix this by chasing her back. You fix it by returning to yourself. Get disciplined again. Get quiet again. Learn to stand still when everything else is falling apart. Because that stillness, that calm, is what makes people trust you again. She doesn't want perfection. She wants stability. She wants to feel that your peace isn't borrowed from her approval, but built from your own foundation. So stop trying to be liked. Start being aligned. Speak less. Move with purpose. Respect your reflection before you demand it from anyone else. And the next time you catch yourself wondering why she left, don't look for the answer in her absence. Find it in the moments where you stopped respecting yourself. Because when you rebuild that, your respect, your presence, your quiet authority, you won't need to chase love anymore. It will find you, the same way peace always finds the man who finally stands still.